Good evening and welcome to this edition of New Vision TV News. My name is Yvonne Injina and I hope you had a wonderful day. Let's see what's making the headlines tonight.
NRM government to make 34 years liberation celebrations on Sunday. Asadu Wamala, the director Wamala Mixed Day and Boarding Secondary School, committed to the High Court. In the special report today, we talk to Matayo Byamnugo, telling us how President Museveni survived death at Birembo during the Bush War. This and more in our main bulletin.
Good evening once again and welcome to New Vision TV News. We are broadcasting live from our newsroom, New Vision. And in the news in details, the Minister for Presidency, Esther Mbayo, today addressed the media about the January 26th NRA Liberation Day celebrations, and this was at the Uganda Media Center, and here is what she said about what will take place on Sunday.
33 years down the road,
this Sunday will mark exactly 34 years since the country Uganda was liberated from the bad leadership and commenced an unstoppable journey to socio-economic and political transformation. Today, the Minister for the Presidency informed the media that this day was the climax of the armed conflict that began on February 6, 1981.
That there was a climax of an armed conflict that began on the 6th of February 1981 at Kabamba Barracks by the resilient National Resistance Army fighters under the leadership of General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, ending in the capture of Kampala and restoring peace and order in the country.
Mbayo added that the 5-year NRA protracted People's War had been executed consciously by ordinary citizens who exhibited extraordinary heroism, sacrifice and skill, bearing in mind that it was not their fight but a fight for the masses. The minister stressed that the Liberation Day will remind us about a fight for the people. That's why it is called the People's War.
The NRA protracted People's War had been executed consciously by ordinary citizens who exhibited extraordinary heroism, sacrifice, and skill, bearing in mind that it was not their fight, but a fight for the masses, a fight for the people. That is why it is called the People's War.
This year's celebrations will be held under the theme celebrating NRA's patriotic struggle that ushered in national unity and socio-economic transformation. This year's national celebrations will take place at Ibanda Core Primary Teachers College grounds in Ibanda District. The President Yoweri Museveni will be the guest of honor, and other very important guests are expected to join His Excellency to celebrate the day. The history of the NRA struggle dates back in the 1970s during the regime of President Idi Amin, who had captured state power through a coup in 1971.
President Museveni, who was a few years from the university, began the protracted struggle during his exile in Tanzania to restore democracy and rule of law in Uganda.
Now moving on, Asadu Wamala, the director and proprietor of Wamala Mixed Day and Boarding Secondary School, was back in court today. Wamala and Nsubuga, the school matron, are battling charges of aggravated defilement and indecent assault. Wamala was arrested in November last year after one of his students reported his alleged continued sexual abuse to her auntie, who also reported the case to police. Douglas Mubiru has details to this story.
Mpigi Grade 1 Magistrates Court has committed a school director to High Court to answer charges of aggravated defilement and indecent assault. Asadu Wamala, director and proprietor Wamala Mixed Day and Boarding Secondary School at Mpamile Village in PG Town Council, was committed together with Halima Nansubuga, the school matron, also battling charges of procurement of defilement. Prosecution led by Justin Nakaiza told court that investigations into the matter are complete and they're ready to proceed with the case. It is alleged that between October and November last year, Wamala, while at his school, lured two teenage girls, aged 16 and 17 respectively, into sexual acts. Prosecution further asserts that Wamala indecently assaulted another underage girl from the same school, whereas Nansubuga aided the latter to commit the offence. According to court documents, the accused are mentally upright, whereas on examination, doctors found that the victims were sexually assaulted. Upon committal, Magistrate Maureen Mukoye said the evidence given was sufficient and was necessary to send the accused to the High Court for trial. Mukoye ruled that having brought sufficient evidence in the committal papers, I hereby commit you to the High Court to start answering the charges. You will, however, be remanded to Kigo Prison till the High Court slates your case and is where you will take plea, since the charges against you are capital in nature. Story compiled by Douglas Mubiru for New Vision TV.
Thank you so much, Douglas Mubiru. Now, the State Minister for Youth and Children's Affairs, Florence Nachwala Chiyinji, has directed district officials in Wakiso to close 20 NGOs which are operating illegally. Francis Emorut was in Wakiso and he has more.
Registration of NGOs in Uganda is seen by many as a complex process given the documentation involved. With the right information, the process should not be complex. In Uganda, the non-government organizations are regulated by the Non-Government Organizations Registration Act, CAP 113, as amended in 2006. The Act governs the registration, management, and governance of non-government organizations. During the meeting with the Wakiso District Gender Development Services Committee at the Ministry's headquarters, the Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Florence Nachwala Chiyinji, empowered the committee and district authorities to go and close the NGOs that are operating illegally. Richard Lule, the chairperson of the committee, informed the minister that some orphanages are operating illegally because their licenses expired. Nachwala directed Wakiso district authorities to ensure that they do not act ultra-vires against the law and henceforth closed. Lule pointed out examples of the organizations that are operating illegally. They include Subi Babies Home, Chosen Generation Chitende, Crescent Orphanage, Seguku, Cogwell Trust Kira, Abraham's Children's Center, Greenland Orphanage Wakiso, Hope for New Life, Jesus Cares Uganda, Wamikisa Youth Center, and Agape World Mission.
We will also continue to urge all homes in Wakiso district to follow the laws as prescribed in the standard rules managing the homes. We shall continue our monitoring role and we shall continue delivering the different reports to the ministry.
The minister urged the district leaders to fill the vacant posts which are critical in managing disadvantaged children.
So I would like you to go and start on the Tuesday program so that after a couple of months I can always join you and then we look at these critical cases. Open up your door to the women of Uganda on Tuesday.
Nachwala also advised the gender officials to come up with a strategic program of raising funds to handle emergency cases.
So I implore you now to come up with a strategic plan of activities that you can envision to run June to July of another year. And you highlight to me so that we can synchronize as a department to know what do you want to do as Wakiso in the next, as you focus on that, so that we can move together but prioritize communities. Communities should be able to take care of their children.
The head of the Development Services Committee, Lule, hailed the minister for championing the children's cause and urged the NGOs to follow the law as prescribed to managing orphanage homes. This report was compiled by Francis Emorut for New Vision TV.
Thank you, Francis. Still in Wakiso, the district education officer, Frederick Chiyinji, has given an ultimatum of only 1 week to schools whose PLE results were held by Uganda National Examinations Board over dates to explain themselves. We have details.
Chiinji revealed that a number of schools in the district did not get their PLE results due to unpaid balances, mainly money for registration and other book handouts. Chiinji said parents paid the registration money in time, but I wonder why school owners and head teachers fail to clear the UNEB in time, a situation that forced UNEB to confiscate the results, and I call this theft. According to Chiinji, the results of such schools did not appear on the UNEB portal, adding that even parents found it difficult to get their children results using phones. The district education officer further pointed out that children in that category stand a chance of not joining Senior 1, saying he cannot just look on as parents and children suffer due to reluctant head teachers. It was from this point that Chiinji pointed out that schools that will fail to secure results within 1 week, automatically their licenses will be cancelled. Chiinji further warned schools against the practice of registering children with other schools for fear of getting bad grades. Chiinji said this is another type of robbery done by the school head teachers, which I cannot encourage. Teachers get money from parents, and at the end of the year, they register some children whom they do not expect to get a first grade with other schools. According to Chiinji, even the Ministry of Education discourages the practice, but school head teachers have turned adamant. He advised parents to report such anomalies to the relevant authorities in order to deal with undesirable practice. Chiinji, however, expressed his dismay over the general performance of the district in the recent PLE examination, saying the number of children with 4 aggregates reduced compared to the past years. Story compiled by Job Nantachika for New Vision TV.
Thank you so much, Job. We are glad you're still glued to your TVs, and we still have some news in business. We have our special report, and we have some sports. Let's go for a break, and we'll be back. Welcome back from that really short break. Lynn has some news in business for us.
In business tonight, the government wants to revive Uganda Commercial Bank as one of its plans to boost the private sector. This was revealed by the Executive Director, National Planning Authority, Joseph Muvawala, while appearing before the Finance Committee to present the Authority National Budget Framework paper for 2020-2021. According to the statement, the authority needs 3.4 billion shillings to conduct the feasibility studies for the revival of the Uganda Commercial Bank and determination of priority commodities for Uganda. Muvawala informed the committee that the study is aimed at assisting government come up with ways to improve the private sector, noting that the government already has 4 commercial banks but are still small to make an impact.
So for me, the study of the commercial sector, actually, we are going to make a correction to remove revamping UCB. The issue is to study commercial banking. That is the issue. And then we are going to come up with recommendations. Because, honourable members of parliament, government already runs commercial banks in this country. There is Post Bank, there is Pride, there is Housing Finance. We have 4. But the way they are not run like government. You're using management. You loan out management. And some of them are doing so well. The issue with them, they are too small to make impact.
Muvawala also says that in the next financial year, they expect to receive 5.5 billion shillings that will assist them draw an industrial master plan.
Do you notice that Wakiso is slowly turning into a housing estate? The whole of Wakiso, the whole of Kampala, housing estates. We are now attacking Mukono. Where are we going to produce from? So the issue of that master plan and the physical plan, I think you should put us at the highest notice that this parliament receives it, even the master plan for this country. Because the problem of this country is not that people own land. The problem of this country is that government has forced to enforce the use of the land.
The UK-Africa Investment Summit held in London on the 20th of January laid the foundation for new partnerships between the UK and African nations based on trade, investment, shared values and mutual interest. Billions of pounds of new commercial deals were announced, highlighting the strength of the UK's often existing relationship with Africa. Deals signed between UK companies and Uganda at the summit include a £185 million export contract for Lagan Group to upgrade Kampala Industrial Business Park and an £80 million deal for Nexus Green to export solar-powered water pumping systems for irrigation in the country. Unitrack also won a £1.5 million export contract to supply machinery for Ugandan roads. The UK also announced new initiatives and funding which will strengthen the joint trading relationship and support African countries in their ambition to transform their economies. A major new partnership with the City of London was announced, along with a landmark new partnership with 5 African countries, including Uganda, to mobilize private sector investment in quality and environmentally friendly infrastructure projects. In total, 27 deals worth 31 trillion Uganda shillings from across the African markets were signed at the summit. The deals span a variety of sectors, including infrastructure, energy, retail and technology, and will deliver high-quality investment, jobs and growth.
In our special report, as the National Resistance Movement government marks this year's liberation celebrations on 26th January, that is on Sunday, New Vision TV unfolds a series of untold stories of the Bush War. And in our first series, we talked to Matayo Byamnungo about some of the things you possibly don't know about the Bush War.
Nyoni banjeta Matayo Byamnungo ine myaka 60.
Hano mbere turi minka
bakweta birembo omuruka kya Karongo igomborora birembera n'uwe chwa president yogo amaze kuwangura ati buganga izi ndi saza yitu
district kakumira
era president yayengo yatusalamu tukatuli bakibale yaka yatusalamu yatu esalemu twetongole twafuna kakumiro district era tukutuwa district nje kutwara bwire buno obutaluna rutandika adukarugara netwara bulega buhulira dulyo kurukwija abantu bakwiruka bakora ki bakufura ebintu obukurwana obote naki
maruraga mwamwine radio
radio
vision mwamwine
tukatwina radio biro tukataka tufuna television tukataka zifuni
radio ki adi
tukatwina Uganda ya radio ya Uganda ndi yaitu nitwa zinoitaka iziremu yakakumira taka iziremu yaboyi mutuchali yana yakagati taka iziremu
Mukura bakubaza ulimwanyo
twategaga obwiro bwitu twategaga endimi ze olulimi lwaitu olunyoro kandi Uganda narwengere Buganda yasokere kubiramu abaganda muno yabokwokana nkaga nebiri era nabo abasigere nkaitwa abakurukuru twamaze kwega Uganda olwo ati twawulirago kwe mundu bakwita abantu abakurwana saidi kutanika na saidi za kabambo kuno twawulire kubi kabambe bira saidi za mbendo olundi zinawulira saidi za Rwero nitutina muno bwiro ntutina kachimugule tulikamu olutalo ikomo tuli batuta twabao nkomuntu kuguma tulaga twena bwiro bwirukiro nozalirwe nwokulire ati kwaje kuula batusemberero kurugano
kwitegereza mbere uragenda
kandi ukazalirwa ati otio ni ruije tena churakora chiona tukatugumire mukama wenga nute kwase mukama nwarakora ki aratuyamba era mukama akatuyamba murutaro muraturo abandi bagenzire bakagenda ati obo yetu kubasobole byabayiro olukwanyo nkani mukuru abiro nkanye nemyaka nkabiri obona nejo nkaba nkuzire ati nyowanu mbali niwe obuzaro nko kanuko tugeze senga wange nuyankuliza mutagale jina na maka nanyo mwamunyanya kuli okuwatazali ati byamazire kundeta kumperero mu isomero primary abirembo ayisomero letu wao nyakura ni murolera nko umuntu omuna kwatazaire nuko twayikira mu rutaro nawe akuzire myaka jena jya kafalinka mu nkaga na Era akayamba muno omukulu ogu president Yoweri President Kaguta Museveni waituwa ati era ati okutandika olutalo tukajja kuwulira muzizi eri ayina itwana Mbabo Kyebando Mbabo Karuguza tukuwula tukutiina nabo bote tukubawulira okunabo akwija kulwana era batinisanga ngo bayekera bakwika omukichweka bakwita abantu baitukana cyali tibayitaga kuja kiyetegereza bayikire mu kulwanira mtukaje kwetegereza abo bote ni basaliyaga busa abantu oba akusangaga oli awo otyo obo tugambe katugeze okutambula okuyiruka nkaba kwiruka nikutu bagumire kwikala mu kichweka yiwo kujanka abo bote bakaguza nyo tarundi kubiki bo barozanga nayo oli mujekera bakoraki bakutwa okuyiruka obwo buyekera era muntu kafiroma abantu baitu banabona abo mulingo ogwo ebitategekere batali basirikale babasaraga busara bakatitira omugenzi nanka kanyike Bonifansi era ebintu byo kikekyo abo bote bamazire batwitira nanka Sebastian kwasibwo twafuira musajja mwojo waitu era akaro kwa birembo bona banka kubagambira George byekwaso era nubye byo kugamba kanyuruke ngarukani ko kulwaitu twagumira amu kanda una tugamba nti mugume bayinanga ragenda kalibata batamukuja gwa omumusajja ole abasajja bakuja kweta bobote kitwakoze ntulinda aro ekisaro cyaitu bakweta nguse no mukuru wanu yaraye president aba abasikano bayambike bararo omukatundu wako bakweta nguse kisaro cyamani muno batwijukiro nabo bali yarabiri ati naija nararao zikaenda kumwenda mwamatiya musajja wakamweta matiya akamumbikira wenju na nyonka yino nkene yimukona ejo president yajinyoke eyombekana mukazi ogwo Tereza ogwo nanka kyakuwa enju nayo njije ndi rugwa.
And finally, in our sports, Uganda is placed in Group E of the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers alongside Mali, Kenya and Rwanda in a draw that was held in Egypt. Patricia Turiahebwa was at FIFA headquarters and she has some more.
Uganda Cranes, who have never played at the World Cup finals, will be seeking to qualify for the first time in history. Uganda was drawn in Group E of the FIFA World Cup 2022 Qatar qualifiers alongside West African side Mali and two East African opponents Kenya and Rwanda in a draw that was held in Egypt on Tuesday evening. To many, the group looked weak compared to the 2018 qualifiers, where Uganda was in the same sport with the likes of Egypt, Ghana and Congo-Brazzaville. Today, Coach McKinstry reacted to the group where Uganda was placed, saying Mali's unpredictable team as it is seen as the biggest threat to Uganda.
Mali are a very interesting opponent. I think people might naturally look and say, okay, out of the top 10 teams in Africa, they're ranked 9th. And sort of think, okay, they're sort of one of the lower ranked top seed we could have got. But Mali are unpredictable because if you look at their junior sides, they won AFCON under 17 in 2017 and 2015. They then won the 2019 AFCON U20. And so they've got a very talented young team. Now, when you've got young players, consistency, unpredictability, these are all things that you expect with a young team.
McKinstry said derby games are logical despite the good performance Uganda has ahead of the two opponents. He urged Ugandans not to wait for the team to qualify, that they should be part of the journey.
I think just to come out and to, support the team and to get behind the team because, Uganda football has been on the rise in recent years. They really have been, and we want to keep that rise going. And this World Cup group, it provides great opportunity. There's challenges in it, but there's great opportunity now. And if we can push and we can continue to raise our level, then anything's possible.
McKinstry, who previously coached Rwanda national team, says it will be interesting for him to go back to his former employees. The qualifying matches will kick off in March this year and wind up in the first and second weeks of November 2021. The winners in the different 10 groups will progress the final playoff round, where 2 ties home and away will decide Africa's 5 World Cup representatives in Qatar. Uganda's best finish was when it finished second in 2018 behind Egypt. Now the question is, will McKinstry do it for Ugandans this time round?
These and more stories on our social media platforms, that's Facebook and Twitter, our YouTube and our website. From the entire team, have a good night.